The night sky was quiet. Stars twinkled above Earth, as if nothing could disturb the calm. Yet, in a small laboratory in New Mexico, Dr. Elena Moore sat staring at a screen that refused to lie. Something strange was coming from the depths of space. At first, it looked like random noise, just another blip among billions of signals. But then she noticed a pattern. Her fingers trembled as she typed commands, trying to isolate the source. The signal was unlike anything humanity had ever detected. It pulsed in a rhythm, almost like a heartbeat, but faster, sharper, and filled with energy. She called her assistant, Ravi, who hurried into the room, his eyes wide with excitement. "Do you see this?" Elena asked, pointing at the screen. "It's not natural. This is something else." Ravi leaned over, scanning the lines of numbers and waveforms. "It's coming from outside our galaxy," he said softly. "I've triple-checked. Nothing like this exists in our records." Elena swallowed hard. "We need to alert the authorities, the UN Space Committee, NASA, someone." As she spoke, the signal shifted. Colors danced across the monitor. Symbols, almost like letters, flashed briefly, disappearing before anyone could understand. The room filled with tension. Every scientist in the lab felt it. Something big was about to happen. Meanwhile, in a faraway star system, far beyond the reach of any human telescope, the Galactic Council was in session. Hundreds of species, each more advanced than humans, argued in voices that carried across the chamber like thunder. They spoke of Earth, the small, blue planet unaware of what was coming. One council member, a tall, shadowy figure named Zarek, leaned forward. "The humans are interesting," he said. "Naive, fragile, but capable, perhaps too capable." Another, a crystalline entity named Delira, replied, "Do we intervene, or do we allow them to stumble into their own fate? They could become a threat or a wonder." Zarek's eyes gleamed. "Let them reach for the stars. But under our guidance, subtly. A test, yes, a test of their limits." Back on Earth, Elena and Ravi were trying to decode the symbols. Each attempt failed. The signals seemed to anticipate them, changing as they worked. "It's like it's alive," Ravi whispered, almost in fear. Elena's heart pounded. "Or it's intelligent," she said. Her mind raced with possibilities. Could this be a message from another civilization? Or a warning? The lab phone rang, breaking the silence. It was NASA headquarters. "Dr. Moore, we're seeing the same signal." A voice said urgently, "Multiple stations. It's everywhere. We need your data immediately." Elena grabbed her laptop. "We've been tracking it for hours. But it's strange. Patterns, almost like instructions." Ravi shook his head. "Instructions for what? We can't even read them." Then, without warning, the signal surged. Lights flickered, alarms rang in the lab, and every screen glowed with the same strange pattern. The symbols now formed a grid, sharp and angular, as if trying to speak directly to human minds. Elena felt a chill run down her spine. "It's too precise. Someone or something is sending this intentionally." Hours passed, but the signal did not stop. The world slowly began to notice. Satellites picked it up. Military communications intercepted strange pulses. News channels speculated about extraterrestrial life. Panic, curiosity, and wonder mixed together across the globe. In the midst of chaos, a small team of engineers made a discovery. By isolating a segment of the signal, they realized it contained a map, star coordinates leading beyond the Milky Way. It was an invitation or a trap. Elena stared at the screen. "We can follow it," she said, "but what if it's dangerous?" Ravi's hands trembled. "Or what if it's exactly what they want us to do?" The Galactic Council watched silently, their hidden chamber filled with whispers. Zarek's lips curled into a faint smile. "Soon, the humans will take their first step. They believe it is a choice. But the path has already been set." Back on Earth, the signal began to change again. This time it was faster, sharper, almost urgent. Everyone in the lab froze. The computers began to decode small fragments, numbers, shapes, instructions for building something. Elena whispered, "It's not just a message, it's a challenge." Outside, The night sky remained calm. Stars twinkled innocently. But somewhere beyond, eyes watched. A galaxy waited. And Earth, unaware of the forces moving against it, was about to be thrown into a journey that would change everything. The signal pulsed once more. And then, just as quickly it stopped, silence returned. But the suspense lingered in the air. Something was coming. And humanity had no idea how close it already was. Far beyond the Milky Way, in the heart of a colossal space station, the Galactic Council convened. The chamber stretched for miles, filled with beings of every imaginable form. Crystalline entities that glowed like living prisms, enormous creatures with scales reflecting starlight, and creatures so small they floated freely, barely noticeable. Each council member was more advanced than any human could imagine. Yet tonight, they were focused on one fragile blue planet, Earth. Zarek, the shadowy figure from afore, stood at the podium. Humans have detected the signal, he announced. His voice echoed, deep and chilling. And they are curious. Brave, perhaps too brave. It is time we test them. A ripple of whispers filled the chamber. Some members gasped, others clenched their appendages in anger. The Lyra, the crystalline entity, spoke calmly. We swore to protect emerging civilizations. Interfering is dangerous. The humans are still primitive. Why risk their destruction? Zarek's eyes glinted. Because the Council thrives on knowledge. Observing them under pressure will reveal their true nature. Can they survive what we have prepared? Can they adapt when everything falls apart? Their potential is worth the risk. Another member, a massive serpentine alien named Kaelf, hissed. You speak of testing, but this could wipe them out. Are you willing to cross that line? Zarek's shadow seemed to grow larger. It is not annihilation. Not yet. It is a controlled experiment. They will be pushed, yes, but they will have choices. The illusion of control is part of the test. The council voted. Most members, deceived by Zarek's words, nodded in agreement. Only a few questioned the morality of what they were about to do. But the vote passed and the plan was set. Back on Earth, Elena Moore and her team were oblivious to the council's plotting. They worked tirelessly, decoding fragments of the signal. Some symbols seemed to represent simple instructions, almost like a puzzle designed for human minds. Others were far more complex, hinting at advanced technology, so advanced it was almost magical. Ravi leaned over Elena's shoulder. I think it's guiding us. Maybe toward a solution or a weapon. Elena frowned. Or a trap. We don't know who sent this. Or why. We have to be careful. While humans struggled to understand, the Council began manipulating events. Using advanced technology, they subtly disrupted Earth's satellite networks and energy grids. Small anomalies appeared. Nothing catastrophic at first, just enough to push humans toward panic. Zarek observed through a holographic interface. See how they respond, he murmured. They do not panic. They adapt. Fascinating. The Lyra's crystal facets shimmered. This could backfire. If they survive, they may grow stronger than we anticipate. Zarek only smiled. Let them. Their resilience will make the final revelation spectacular. On Earth, small power failures started to spread across major cities. People reported lights flickering, electronics behaving oddly. News channels scrambled to explain the disruptions, while governments tried to calm the population. Elena noticed the pattern immediately. These aren't random failures, she said. The signal is connected. Someone or something is guiding this chaos. Ravi's eyes widened. Are you saying it's intentional? Elena nodded grimly. Yes, but it's clever. Whoever sent the signal wants us to think we're in control. They want us to follow the path they prepared. Meanwhile, the council continued to whisper among themselves. Some, like Kaelf, began to doubt the wisdom of manipulating humans. They are clever, yes, Kaelf hissed, but fragile. You are playing with fire. Zarek's shadow moved closer to Kaelf. Fragile? Perhaps. But even fire can illuminate the darkness. The human's brilliance, when tested, will teach us more than decades of observation ever could. Back on Earth, a new breakthrough occurred. Elena and Ravi managed to decode part of the signal. It was a map leading to distant stars. Instructions for building a device were embedded in the symbols, almost like a gift. Or a trap, Elena whispered. It's too precise, almost like it was meant for us to find it. But who sent it? And why? Ravi shivered. I don't like it. It's like they're luring us somewhere. And if we go, we can't turn back. The Council watched the humans from across the galaxy. Zarek's eyes narrowed. Soon, they will take the bait. They will follow the path we have set, and the experiment will truly begin. The Lyra's voice was quiet, almost mournful. I fear for them. They do not yet understand the forces they're dealing with. Zarek's smile was cold. And that is the point. Back on Earth, the night sky remained calm, but a tension hung in the air. The signal pulsed gently, waiting, watching. Humanity was unaware of the Council's manipulation, unaware that every choice they made had already been anticipated. But one thing was certain. Humans were about to be tested, and the galaxy would soon discover that this small, fragile species was far more than anyone expected. The Council's deception was set in motion. Earth had no idea that its first steps toward the stars would be into a trap carefully designed by the most advanced civilizations in the galaxy. And yet, somewhere deep inside, a spark of human ingenuity and courage was already awakening. It started as a quiet morning. People went about their daily lives, unaware of the danger lurking above. Satellites moved in their usual orbits, and radio signals traveled across Earth, carrying news, music, and laughter. But far above, in the void of space, something was coming. Something fast, precise, and deadly. Dr. Elena Moore sat in the lab, sipping coffee and reviewing the latest signal data. Ravi, we've been tracking for days, she said. And now it's changing again. Ravi leaned over her shoulder, eyes widening. The pattern is accelerating. The pulses are stronger, more frequent. Something is approaching Earth. Across the globe, military bases picked up strange readings. Unexplained energy surges disrupted communications. Satellites flickered. At first, commanders thought it was a solar flare, a normal cosmic disturbance. But soon, the anomalies became too coordinated to ignore. Then it happened. A blinding flash lit the sky. Satellites exploded silently, raining debris over the oceans. Power grids across major cities surged and died. Lights went out. Traffic lights froze. Airports went dark. Panic spread like wildfire. Elena's lab shook as alarms blared. This isn't a natural event, she shouted. It's an attack. Ravi grabbed her arm. We need to warn everyone. Tell the government. Tell the military. Meanwhile, across Earth orbit, the first strike had already done its work. A fleet of sleek, advanced ships, invisible to human eyes until now, had disabled Earth's defenses. Orbital weapons arrays were destroyed. Communication satellites burned in orbit. Humanity's first step into space had been blocked, and the planet was vulnerable. The news channels went into chaos. Anchors spoke frantically, urging calm. But fear spread quickly. Social media erupted with rumors. Aliens, bombs, EMP attacks. Governments struggled to respond. Panic turned to fear, and feared confusion. Inside the lab, Elena and Ravi worked feverishly. We need to understand this technology, Elena said. If we can figure out their methods, maybe we can stop them. Ravi nodded. But how? Their ships, their weapons, it's unlike anything we've seen. In the Council's hidden chamber, Zarek watched the events unfold with satisfaction. Phase 1 is complete, he said. Their defenses are crippled, their confidence shaken. And yet, they are still fighting, still trying to understand. Fascinating. The Lyra's crystal facets shimmered nervously. You are pushing them to the edge. They are not ready for this. Are you sure this is wise? Zarek's eyes gleamed. That is precisely why we do it. Observe, test, and in the pressure, we shall see the true human spirit. Back on Earth, humanity began to respond. Military engineers improvised. Power plants rerouted energy. Scientists like Elena analyzed the strange pulses left by the attack. In small pockets, people worked together to restore order, showing ingenuity and courage in the face of overwhelming odds. Elena's team discovered something remarkable. These pulses, she said, pointing at the data, they follow a pattern. It's as if the attackers want us to see it, to learn from it. Maybe we can use it against them. Ravi frowned. So, it's not just destruction. It's a test? Like the council wanted? Elena nodded slowly. Yes, but tests can be turned around. Humans are resourceful. We can adapt. That is our strength. Meanwhile, ordinary citizens were stepping up too. A bus driver rerouted passengers to safety when traffic lights failed. Engineers fixed small power grids using improvised circuits. Even children helped in small ways, passing information and warnings. Across the planet, human ingenuity and bravery shone through. Above, the alien fleet observed, expecting submission. But instead of panic and surrender, they saw resilience, improvisation, and determination. Humans refused to bow. A few surviving satellites managed to send data back to Earth, giving glimpses of the attackers' technology. Military analysts pored over the images, trying to understand weaknesses. Slowly, the idea began to form. Maybe Earth could fight back. Maybe Earth could survive. Zarek leaned back in his chair, intrigued. They are adapting faster than I predicted. Delira's voice held concern. You may have underestimated them. They're small, fragile, yes, but their spirit is strong. And strength is not always measured in technology alone. Back on Earth, Elena and Ravi prepared their next move. We can't stop them yet, Elena said. But we can study, we can learn, and we can prepare. This is only the beginning. The night sky was no longer calm. Strange lights flickered at the edge of Earth's atmosphere, shadows moving silently. The world had changed in hours. The first strike had proven the Council's deception and humanity's vulnerability, but it had also revealed something else. Humans were not helpless. They were clever, brave, and unpredictable. And sometimes, unpredictability was a weapon in itself. As the first strike ended, a quiet tension filled the air. People looked up at the stars, wondering what would come next. And somewhere far away, the Council watched, learning a lesson they had not expected. Humans could survive. Humans could fight back. And the galaxy had just begun to notice. The morning after the first strike, Earth was a world transformed. Cities struggled to restart, power grids flickered, and satellites lay in ruins. Fear hung in the air like a heavy fog. But amidst the chaos, humans began to act. In New Mexico, Dr. Elena Moore and Ravi were already at work. Their lab had survived the initial strike, and computers hummed with life as they analyzed the remaining signals. They're not finished, Elena said, studying the strange alien patterns. They expect us to panic. But we won't. We adapt. That's what humans do. Ravi nodded, tracing lines on a digital map. Look at this. The signal has left instructions, hidden in the patterns. If we follow them carefully, maybe we can understand the attacker's technology. Elena's eyes lit up. Exactly. This is our chance to turn the tables. Across the globe, governments were doing the same. Military engineers repaired downed communication systems. Scientists studied alien debris from destroyed satellites. Even civilians stepped up, sharing information and resources. Humanity had no central plan, no unified strategy, but their ingenuity and quick thinking were everywhere. In Tokyo, a team of engineers jury-rigged a small satellite to send reconnaissance signals into space. In London, a group of scientists repurposed industrial machinery to analyze energy pulses. In New York, students and teachers worked together to distribute emergency energy supplies. Every action, small or large, showed one thing clearly. Humans refused to be defeated. Elena and Ravi discovered a crucial breakthrough. By analyzing fragments of the alien signal, they realized it could be used to predict the attacker's next moves. It's a map, but not just a map, Elena said. It's almost like a blueprint for their attacks. If we decode it fully, we can fight back. Ravi's hands trembled as he looked at the data. Do you think we're ready for that? Elena smiled, determined. We'll never be fully ready. But we don't have to be perfect. We just have to try. Meanwhile, the world's militaries began small counterattacks. Using repaired satellites, They tested the limits of the alien weapons, sending decoys and disrupting communications. Each success was tiny but meaningful. Humans were learning, adapting, and surviving, exactly what the Council had underestimated. In the Council's chamber, Zarek watched with curiosity. They are resilient, he admitted. Even after devastation, they continue to act, to innovate. Fascinating. The Lyra shook her crystalline form. I warned you. Their potential is dangerous. They do not bend easily. Perhaps we misjudge them. But Zarek only smiled. Let them rise. The stronger they become, the more revealing the test. Their ingenuity is what I seek. Back on Earth, a small fleet of scientists and engineers gathered in a secure facility. They worked day and night to combine human knowledge with captured alien technology. Broken satellites were repaired and repurposed. Power grids were stabilized with improvised circuits. Even weapon systems were modified to detect the energy patterns of the alien ships. Elena addressed the team, her voice steady. We may be small, and we may be weak compared to them, but intelligence, creativity, and courage, these are human strengths. And that is what will give us our edge. Ravi nodded. We're not just fighting to survive. We're fighting to show them that humans are more than they expected. Across the globe, humanity's response grew. Ordinary citizens, inspired by the courage of scientists and soldiers, began to help in small ways, guiding rescue missions, sharing technical knowledge, and keeping communities safe. Humanity was showing its best qualities under pressure: resilience, innovation, and unity. The Council watched silently. They are learning fast. Kael'th hissed. We intended to test them, but they may surpass our expectations. Zarek's eyes glinted. Then let the test continue. If they survive the next strike, we will see their true potential. Elena and Ravi made another discovery. The signal was not just guiding humans to defend themselves. It was teaching them. Small patterns hidden in the data revealed weaknesses in alien technology, strategies for counterattacks, and ways to repair systems faster. Humanity was being challenged, yes, but also given the tools to rise. Elena whispered, almost to herself, they think this is a test, but we can turn it into an advantage. We can learn, adapt, and strike back. Ravi looked out the window at the night sky. Stars twinkled as if indifferent to human struggle. Yet Elena felt something else, connection. Humanity was no longer just reacting. They were becoming a force. A spark of defiance had been lit, and it would grow. And somewhere in the shadows of space, the alien fleet waited, unaware that Earth was beginning to rise. The first strike had failed to break humanity's spirit. If anything, it had revealed a truth the Council had overlooked. Humans were unpredictable, clever, and capable of more than anyone imagined. The stage was set. Humanity was no longer just a victim. They were a player in a game that stretched across the stars. And when the next move came, they would be ready to respond. The galaxy had yet to see what humans were truly capable of. The stars above Earth had always seemed distant, cold, and untouchable. But now, after the first strike and humanity's rapid response, the sky was different. It held secrets, danger, and opportunity. Dr. Elena Moore and Ravi stared at the fragment of a downed alien ship they had recovered from orbit. Its sleek, black surface was scarred but intact. Sensors hummed softly as engineers carefully examined the alien technology. This was the first tangible proof that humans could fight back, not just imagination, but with understanding. Ravi pointed at a strange device embedded in the wreckage. This could be a power core, he said, or maybe a control system. If we understand it, we might use it to our advantage. Elena's eyes narrowed. We have to be careful. Whatever it is, it's far beyond our technology. But, yes, this is our chance to learn and adapt. Across Earth, other teams were achieving similar breakthroughs. Alien drones that had survived the strike were captured and studied. Communication patterns were decrypted. Every small victory boosted morale. Humanity was not just surviving. They were learning faster than anyone had predicted. Then it happened. A group of engineers monitoring the captured alien ship detected movement. A pod had survived the strike, drifting toward Earth's atmosphere. Panic surged at first. Was this another attack? But the pod slowed, landing gently in a remote desert. A door hissed open, and a lone alien emerged. It was smaller than expected, fragile-looking, almost human-like in shape, but unmistakably alien. Elena and Ravi approached cautiously. The alien did not attack. It did not flee. Its eyes, dark and intelligent, seemed to study them, assessing, understanding. Ravi whispered, "Do you think it's friendly?" Elena shook her head. "I don't know, but it might hold answers. We have to communicate." Using a combination of mathematics, gestures, and the partial signals decoded from the Council's transmissions, humans made contact. Slowly, painfully, the alien began to convey information. It revealed the truth. The Galactic Council had orchestrated the first strike. Earth had been chosen as a test. A small, fragile civilization selected to see how far humans could survive, adapt, and evolve under pressure. Elena's hands shook as she listened. They manipulated us from the start, she said. Everything, the signal, the attacks, the chaos, it was planned. Ravi's voice was quiet but firm. Then it's even more reason to fight back. If they thought humans would just surrender, they were wrong. The alien, sensing no immediate threat, offered more. Schematics of alien ships, energy weapons, and propulsion systems were shared, enough for humans to begin understanding their strengths and weaknesses. It was a gift in a way, or perhaps an oversight by the Council. Elena turned to the team. "This is it. We now know the truth, and we have the tools to do something about it. We can fight back. We can survive. We can prove them wrong." The HFY moment was clear. Humanity, once underestimated, was beginning to stand on equal footing with far superior forces. Intelligence, creativity, and courage, the defining traits of humans, were now weapons in themselves. Across the globe, teams worked tirelessly to reverse engineer alien technology. Broken drones became reconnaissance devices. Energy signatures were studied to develop defensive systems. Even improvised weapons could now target weaknesses in the attacker's ships. Humans were no longer passive victims. They were becoming active participants in a galactic conflict. The alien, now cooperating, warned them. The Council would strike again. Earth would face another test, more severe than the first. But humans, for the first time, were ready. Not because they had superior numbers or technology, but because they had something the Council had never expected. Ingenuity, determination, and a refusal to submit. Elena and Ravi prepared a message to relay to the world. Humanity had a chance, not just to survive, but to rise. And rise they would. In the Council chambers, Zarek watched these events unfold with growing interest. "They are learning faster than anticipated," he said. "They may survive the next phase. Perhaps they will even thrive." The Lyra's crystal facets glimmered nervously. "If they do, they will change the balance of the galaxy. Entire civilizations may view humans differently. We may have underestimated them entirely." Back on Earth, a small team launched a modified drone, carrying sensors derived from alien technology, into orbit. It sent back data that revealed weaknesses in the enemy fleet. Plans were drafted for countermeasures, improvised offenses, and strategies that relied not on brute force, but human adaptability and ingenuity. Elena whispered to Ravi, watching the feed. "They thought they could test us, control us. But humans, we always find a way. We survive. We fight, and we never give up." Ravi nodded, his eyes shining. "This is only the beginning. And when the Council sees what humans can do, they will understand. Earth is not a planet to manipulate. It is a force to reckon with." The night sky remained quiet, but above it, the stars carried a new tension. Humans had made contact. Humans had learned. And humans were no longer the ones being tested. They were preparing to turn the tables. For the first time, humanity's defiance shone across the galaxy. And the Council had no idea how much they had just awakened. Earth was no longer the helpless planet the Council had expected. After the first strike and the revelations of the alien contact, humanity had begun to rise. The world had changed. People worked together. Scientists decoded alien technology, and military engineers improvised systems to fight back. In a hidden research facility deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, Dr. Elena Moore led a team of engineers and scientists. The alien technology they recovered was unlike anything human minds had seen before, but piece by piece, they began to understand it. This device, Elena said, holding a sleek black component from a destroyed alien drone, is a type of energy converter. It can amplify power signals and redirect them potentially into a weapon. Ravi leaned over the schematic, his brow furrowed. So, we could turn their own technology against them? Elena nodded. Exactly. But we have to be careful. One mistake, and we could destroy ourselves before the Council even knows we exist. Across Earth, other teams worked on similar projects. Scientists in Tokyo developed sensors to detect alien ships before they appeared. Engineers in Berlin repaired satellites and modified them to send false signals to confuse the attackers. Even ordinary citizens contributed by hacking communications, building emergency shelters, and sharing knowledge online. Humanity's ingenuity was everywhere. For the first time, humans were no longer reacting. They were planning, strategizing, and preparing to strike back. Elena's team focused on the secret weapon. Using fragments of the alien drone, they designed a system that could create a concentrated energy pulse, capable of disabling enemy ships temporarily. It was not a full-scale attack, but it could turn the tide in a critical moment. Ravi tapped the console nervously. Do you think it will work? We're human. Against them, it seems impossible. Elena smiled, determined. That's exactly why it will work. The Council expects us to fail. They underestimate humans. And that is always our advantage. Creativity, courage, adaptability. We make the impossible possible. Meanwhile, across the galaxy, the Council began to notice irregularities. Some of their minor attacks were being blocked or redirected. Signals they expected to confuse humans were being used to human advantage. Zarek's shadowed face showed curiosity, mixed with concern. They are adapting, he said quietly, faster than anticipated. Delira, the crystalline council member, shimmered nervously. They are learning from our attacks, and they are using what we give them against us. Back on Earth, humans conducted their first test. A small drone, modified with alien technology, was sent into orbit. It emitted a concentrated pulse toward a captured Council scout ship. The results were astounding. The alien ship systems overloaded, forcing it to retreat. Humanity had created their first secret weapon, and it worked. Elena's team cheered, but she remained calm. This is only the beginning, she said. We've proven it works, but now we need strategy. We can't just attack blindly. Every move must be precise. Every step matters. Ravi looked at the screens, showing maps of the galaxy and possible Council positions. We could use this to defend Earth, but also to strike at key Council forces. If we are clever, we can change the game entirely. Elena nodded. Yes, this is not about revenge. It's about survival, yes, but also about showing the galaxy what humans are capable of. We have no other choice, and the time to act is coming. Humanity's response spread beyond the labs and military facilities. Citizens monitored skies, communicated with scattered sensors, and reported anomalies. Communities formed defense units. Small, agile teams of humans began improvising tactics to confuse and disrupt the alien scouts. Every success, no matter how small, strengthened morale. The HFY moment was undeniable. Humans were turning adversity into power, fear into strategy. They were using intelligence, adaptability, and courage, things no alien weapon could directly defeat, to create a force the Council had not anticipated. Zarek watched reports come in, the glow of the holoscreens reflecting in his dark eyes. They are different than I expected, he muttered. They may not just survive, they may change the rules entirely. Delira whispered, her voice trembling slightly. Perhaps we have underestimated them more than anyone ever has. Back on Earth, the first small-scale drills with the secret weapon continued. Drones, pulses, and defensive shields were tested in simulated attacks. Engineers refined every detail, learning from every minor failure. The more humans experimented, the more they learned, and the stronger their resolve grew. Elena stood before the team, looking at the assembled scientists, soldiers, and engineers. We are preparing for the next strike. But this time, we are not waiting to be destroyed. We are ready to act. We are ready to show the Council that humans cannot be underestimated. Ravi added quietly, we are turning the test into our advantage, and when the next attack comes, we will be ready. Above Earth, the stars seemed calm, but the Council watched nervously. A species they had deemed weak, fragile, and naive was now adapting, fighting back, and preparing to challenge them. The first strike had not destroyed humanity. It had awakened it, and the galaxy was about to learn that humans were far more than they seemed. Earth was no longer just a small blue planet in the Milky Way. After the first strike, humanity's rapid adaptation, and the creation of the secret weapon, whispers of their defiance began spreading across the galaxy. Other civilizations, long subservient or cautious under the Council's rule, started noticing. In hidden corners of the galaxy, alien observers reported something unusual. A fragile species, once thought weak, was resisting attacks, learning quickly, and striking back in ways no one had predicted. Some were curious, others fearful. On Earth, Dr. Elena Moore stood before a global assembly of scientists, engineers, and military leaders. We've learned their weaknesses, she said. We've turned their technology into tools we can use. And we are ready. But we are not alone anymore. Some civilizations, they are starting to see the truth, and some may join us. Ravi, monitoring signals from deep space, spoke up. There's a pattern in their communication networks. Some alien ships are hesitating. Others seem confused. They're noticing humans aren't just passive. Elena nodded. Good. That hesitation is what we need. It means the Council is losing control. And it means we can rally others to our side. Across the galaxy, a few alien civilizations, long oppressed or manipulated by the Council, began reaching out. They had observed humanity's resilience, courage, and ingenuity. Some offered intelligence about Council operations. Others provided technology to strengthen Earth's defenses. Humanity was no longer isolated. It had allies. The first coordinated strike began small. Using captured drones and modified satellites, humans disrupted Council communications in minor sectors, while alien allies provided support from afar. These attacks were precise, surgical, and designed to test strategies, not cause mass destruction. In orbit above Earth, modified drones patrolled constantly. Every Council ship that attempted reconnaissance found itself outmaneuvered by unexpected tactics. Humanity was no longer reacting. They were predicting, adapting, and exploiting weaknesses. In the Council chamber, Zarek watched these developments with increasing concern. They are not just surviving, he said, voice low. They are learning. They are organizing. And other species are noticing, helping. The Lyra's crystal facets shimmered anxiously. They may rally more civilizations. If they do, the Council could lose control. Entire sectors of the galaxy could defy us. But Zarek's shadowed face showed a faint smile. Let them rise. Observe them fully. If they survive the next phase, we will learn everything about them. Their intelligence, their courage, their spirit. And perhaps their potential will surpass even our own expectations. On Earth, the human-led rebellion expanded. Small teams conducted reconnaissance missions, hacking minor Council installations, and gathering critical intelligence. Engineers modified alien tech to create defensive barriers around Earth and key allies. Scientists developed predictive systems to anticipate Council strategies. Humanity was evolving rapidly under pressure. The HFY theme was undeniable. Humans, once underestimated, were now leading a coalition, not just defending themselves. Their creativity, courage, and adaptability became the foundation of a new galactic force. Ravi looked at a star map showing the positions of Council forces. Elena, look at this. Some ships are diverting. They're leaving sectors unprotected. Our allies are taking advantage. We can hit them strategically. Elena's eyes glimmered with determination. Exactly. This is how humans fight. We don't just survive. We adapt, organize, and act where we are strongest. The Council thought they could manipulate us. They underestimated the human spirit. The rebellion's momentum grew. Signals from multiple allied civilizations began coordinating with Earth. Supply lines were strengthened, technology shared, and intelligence exchanged. What had begun as a planet defending itself became a galaxy-wide movement. Even minor victories energized humanity. A Council patrol ship was captured intact, its crew stunned by human ingenuity and strategy. Debris from the skirmish revealed more about Council operations, providing critical data for future campaigns. The night sky above Earth seemed brighter now, not just with stars, but with hope. Humanity had become a symbol, a species that refused to be crushed, a species that could inspire others. Zarek watched one final report, concern etched across his features. They are more than we expected. Their ingenuity, their courage, their ability to inspire others, they are dangerous. In the best sense, perhaps they are worthy. Back on Earth, Elena stood before her team, watching communication lines pulse with messages from allies across the galaxy. "We are no longer alone," she said softly, "and together we can challenge the Council. Humanity will not just survive, we will show the galaxy who we are. We are clever, we are brave, and we will not be underestimated." The Galactic Rebellion had begun, and Earth, once thought weak, was leading the charge. The galaxy held its breath. After months of preparation, adaptation, and alliance building, humanity was ready. Earth had evolved from a small, fragile planet into the heart of a rebellion that spanned light years. The Council, confident in its superior technology, had underestimated the human spirit, and it would cost them. Dr. Elena Moore stood on a command platform deep inside Earth's orbital fortress. Screens glowed with data, showing positions of allied ships, Council patrols, and strategic objectives. Ravi worked alongside her, fingers flying over holographic controls, coordinating teams scattered across multiple systems. "This is it," Elena said, her voice steady. "Everything we've learned, every adaptation, every small victory, it all comes down to this. We don't just survive. We show them humanity's true power." Ravi nodded, his eyes bright with determination. "And if they think we'll fail, they're wrong." The first wave of a human-led fleet launched. Modified drones and ships equipped with alien technology moved in coordinated precision. Humans and allies worked as one, exploiting weaknesses in Council communications and defenses. Every move was calculated, but every human instinct was also at play: creativity, improvisation, and courage guiding the strategy. The Council observed from their command chambers. Zarek's shadowed face showed tension rarely seen. "They are organized. More than we anticipated," he admitted. "And yet it is fascinating. Their strategy, their defiance, it is remarkable." The Lyra's crystal form shimmered nervously. "They have become a force. If they succeed, the balance of power in the galaxy will shift. Entire civilizations may no longer follow the Council unquestioned." Back in orbit, humanity executed the first strike of the battle. Using the secret weapon developed from alien technology, they disabled key Council vessels, causing chaos in the enemy ranks. Satellites, drones, and human ingenuity combined to create unpredictability that the Council had never anticipated. Elena's voice rang over the comms. "Target the main fleet's command nodes. Focus on precision, not destruction. Use what we've learned. Exploit their systems. And remember, humans adapt faster than anyone expects." Ravi added, "This is our advantage. They plan for strength, but we plan for ingenuity. That is what makes us dangerous." As Council ships faltered under the unexpected human tactics, reports from allied civilizations arrived. Reinforcements joining the battle, sabotaging supply lines and disrupting communications. The Council fleet, once feared as unstoppable, now struggled against an enemy it could neither predict nor fully understand. Zarek's eyes narrowed. "They are learning. They anticipate our every move. This is unprecedented." The Lyra whispered, "They are not just surviving, they are leading, and they are inspiring others. The galaxy will remember this day." On Earth, Elena and Ravi coordinated the final phase. Using captured Council schematics, they deployed a massive energy pulse, temporarily disabling the main command hub of the enemy fleet. One by one, ships lost control, drifting powerless in space. Human pilots moved in, not with reckless violence, but with precise strikes designed to neutralize threats while minimizing casualties. Ravi gasped as he watched the Council's flagship drift silently. We did it. We actually did it. Elena shook her head, smiling. We did what they thought impossible. Not because we're stronger, but because we never gave up, and because we think differently. That is what makes us human. Across the galaxy, civilizations watched in awe. A species once dismissed as weak had risen, adapted, and led a rebellion that reshaped alliances and exposed Council weaknesses. Humanity had proven something profound. Intelligence, courage, creativity, and resilience could overcome even the most advanced power. The Council's deception had failed. Their plan to test humanity had backfired spectacularly. The galaxy was reeling, not from the Council's power, but from humanity's unexpected brilliance. Zarek leaned back, a faint, reluctant smile on his face. Perhaps we underestimated them. Perhaps humans are more than we ever imagined. The Lyra's crystal facets glimmered with awe. They are a force not to be controlled, but to be respected. Back on Earth, celebrations were quiet but meaningful. Humanity had survived, adapted, and triumphed, not just through weapons, but through courage, ingenuity, and unity. Elena looked out at the stars, feeling the weight of what had been achieved. This is only the beginning, she whispered. We have shown the galaxy who we are, and now they will never underestimate us again. Ravi nodded beside her. We didn't just survive the test. We passed it. And in doing so, we changed the galaxy forever. The stars above twinkled, silent witnesses to humanity's ascent. Once underestimated, now respected. Once weak, now capable. Humans had not only survived the Council's deception, they had turned it into an opportunity to rise, lead, and inspire. And the galaxy would never be the same.